Good morning, Dr. Jamuna from VIT. I can see some of them.
I'm putting the banner for the 5 minutes, ma'am. Remaining 4 minutes.
Sure.
Good morning, Anu.
Good
Sujata
morning,
here.
Sujata.
All the best.
Thank you. We need it.
Yeah, definitely. Lavna, idu pannitiyamma? YouTube streaming?
Yes.
Yeah, it is in streaming. It is in live.
எனக்கு indication வரல.
No, now only it has started.
Only now is it?
Before 2-3 minutes, I have just started live.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Sorry.
Once again, I'm requesting the participants to rename your Zoom display name. To identify you are from which college. Aditya Krishnan, just click nearby your name. You could find more option there, and you can find the rename under that. So kindly rename by clicking that option.
Please click tab on your chat window. You have a registration form and things like that. Attend for marking your attendance. Do that as well.
We have 2 more minutes, Anu ma'am. You can start exactly by 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Anuradha, and today we are going to have an interesting shot at Innova for this year. Let me talk about the agenda first. Between 10 and 10:25, I will be your host, followed by the OR webinar by Ramesh by 10:25. And then you have him till 11:25. In between, you have a Slido quiz. And you'll have Arun by 11:25 talking about the concept and design document. And then we have the interaction. And we are through. The students are also expected to present something towards that end. And it will be followed by question and answer session. And we'll close by 12:30. And that's the plan. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see? Screen launched.
Yeah, quick launch.
Quick launch. Yeah. We are here to talk about, I have a very quick launch. We already had an online launch with a couple of mailers that were sent to the Innova coordinators. The first thing is we are worrying as to what is the theme going to be. So the theme is technology enabled social impact. And I've also given a description down below. This is a solution that is given to a problem which is affecting the society, and it will improve the personal productivity. It will not hurt the environmental conditions, and it will improve the economics. So these are the things you have to have in mind when you choose a particular problem. And what are these three keywords that are marked here? So I have 3 slides on that, which you can go back. When we share this slide, you can go look at the links that are given there, and then take a look at all these parameters. These are the things that essentially affect one's personal productivity. If it is going to improve the efficiency of the human being, then this solution is a worthy solution. Like what kind of attitude you will have, how much you will be affected, the worker's state, and whether you'll be able to do multiple tasks, and what the work product itself has in store, and how are you able to manage your time effectively, and what is the impact and benefit. So go over this particular paper when you have time to understand this word in a better fashion. Okay. And then the environmental condition is essentially the habitability, whether it is good for human beings to be born again and again, and whether it is reducing noise pollution, light, temperature, humidity, vibration. What are the parameters that are getting affected? When in our pursuit to create some solutions, if you're going to spoil certain things, then it will become, the whole thing will be uninhabitable. So look at this particular reference as well to understand more. And then as engineers, we refuse to look at economics, understand economics or commerce. So economics is another important word that needs to be taken care of. And it's a big field, believe me. You may get interested more in that if you get to look at these kind of parameters as well. What it requires is more reading of newspapers and what kind of negative internalities your solution may create. So give a complete 360-degree thought to your solution when you give a particular solution. And also when you're analyzing a problem that is affecting the society, put these 3 conditions. What is the before and after of these things? So this is not to scare you, but to just make you think 360 degrees. And it's a very, very briefest introduction that I can give to this particular big theme. It's an overarching theme. So what we thought was we should have categories as well within that, so that you can think within those categories. So what do we think as the top 6? It could be water management, it could be energy management, it could be health, education, environment conservation, and sustainability. All these words are not new to you. Go and do a thorough research on these categories as well. You can choose your area of passion and then look for problems there and solve them. It is very easy for me to say, do this, do that, and fill up this document. So what we thought this year we would do is we will help you in filling up the document we expect you to fill up. For this, we want total cooperation from our students who are participating, and also the IC Innova coordinators, faculty coordinators, and faculty advisors within your system. And we will encourage all the students who are willing to participate to take a deep look and have a total concentration on things that are told in these webinars. These are essential for you to complete the concept and design document in a meaningful manner and full of information which is relevant to that particular topic. So we thought a bunch of our task force members here thought it is ideal for us to give it bit by bit. So we have divided this particular concept and design document filling up through 3 webinars, all webinars, aware webinars for entrepreneurs as we expanded. The 1, 2, 3 is a series, and attending all 3 will get you a certificate, get you 1 certificate. Okay. So you will submit the concept and design document to your Innova coordinator. He will tell you the time, and the college panel will select the best 5 teams from your from the submissions at the college level. And then the actual 5 concept and design documents will be submitted to us by October 12th. So you have to, the IC coordinators need to be aware of, Innova coordinators need to be aware of these important dates and fit in dates for your own selection in between that, and don't ask for any extra time because we are in a squeezed mode for calendar space. You have your work and we also have multiple events to be fit in this calendar. So we would appreciate if you decide on your own. We empower you to take your own call, to have your own selection process at any point of time. You can improve the documentation of those 5 teams, concentrate, and then put them on board by October 12th. The PMO will keep in touch with you for such details. The next level is you will again register for presentation and pitching skills kind of webinar where people will give you, people who have done this before will give you tips and tricks to manage your presentation and pitching in an effective manner. So the pitch, we have introduced a new competition in between, which is pitch your plan in October, between October 25th and 31st. The dates will be there, so we'll keep you informed on that. And we may have several panels, and up to 20 to 25 teams will go to the finals to create their own models. And the finalists will be announced. Finalists from the Pitch Your Plan will be announced by November 15th. And there may be a couple of webinars and mentoring sessions in between. And the final stage is when you submit your final prototype and the completed business canvas with all the explanatory notes by 11th of February 2022. So what we are expecting right away is you to be having a paper and pen or jotting it down on your computer, the important points which you want to remember for filling up these things. And you have the final documents and prototype review by a panel set up, and then there will be a team interview and exhibition of the product before we announce the final prices by mid-March 2022. So you understand this is a year-long process, and we are giving it to you in small chunks, and we want 200% attention to what we are saying so that we will do the best and come out with the best outcome. And so some of the important documents at this point of stage are the concept and design document, the process guidelines, the declaration document, and the link you will receive, the IC will receive for registering 5 Innova teams for college. Okay. So this is our workforce, the task force, who have thought through the entire process. We have Ramesh, Vipin, Arun, Bharanidran, CNC, and Vikash along with me, Anu. So I haven't named them, so think that's it. Yes. They are all people from the industry who have done this, and they're also part of some academic institutions where they teach these kind of topics. And we have with us the other important stakeholders. Our PALS PMO will maintain the oil running and friction-free movement between us and the participants, and the Innova coordinators who are going to run the wheel within their colleges, the faculty advisors who are going to advise the students on different projects, and the management. And we also have the industry participating by way of mentoring and judging different competitions as we go along. And then the real world, of course, which is abundant with problems to be solved by our engineers. And very importantly, you who is going to make it happen. So this is for all people who want to solve, give a solution to a problem. And this is for all who want to participate in any competition. So I would encourage all of you to participate with full rigor and vigor so that you will get the best outcome out of it. Quick walkthrough. We have the AWARE webinars for entrepreneurs. We have the pitch your plan competition, and then you have model presentation preparation, and then the Viva and the video presentation. These form the backbone of our Innova competition. So what's up next are the AWARE webinars for entrepreneurs 1, 2, 3, and the 1 is going to be managed. AWARE 1 is going to be managed by Mr. Ramesh Adavi, before Adavi and Arun Dev, who will follow up with the concept and design document linkage. And we will have an interactive quiz in between. I wish all of you stay right through. Everything is monitored through special software by our PMO. And I'm sure people are listening who are listening via the YouTube are also able to participate in the interactive quiz that will come between Ramesh's presentation and Arun's presentation. And I thank all my Innova Task Force members who put in their brains and got this into a particular shape. I give the floor to Ramesh so that he can take over from this point of time. Ramesh, welcome.
Thank you, Anu.
Thank you.
So give me a few seconds to get my screen up.
I will have to unshare.
Ramesh, I mean,
Okay.
1 second, Ramesh. Anu,
Yeah.
do you want to, Anu, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is only 10:15. Do you want to pause for 5 minutes and ask if any questions on the theme and
No issues. Yeah. Any questions? And do you have anything on the chat box?
I mean, if there is anything, I think I would request the participants to quickly raise hands before Ramesh can get. We'll just pause for very few minutes before we get started.
Yeah, we have been talking to the Innova coordinators as we had gone along, and we would encourage the Innova coordinators to keep up the communication in the WhatsApp group so that everybody will get to see the same questions. Yeah, Sanjay from KSR IET.
Lavna, I hope you will unmute.
Sanjay?
Lowered his hand, so I'm finding him.
So, Innova coordinators and faculty mentors, if there are any questions, we would request you to take, quickly 2 minutes to raise your hand. Lavna will unmute you and you can ask your questions. Related to what you have heard from Anu so far, before we get into the AWARE webinar session. Dr. Suresh from SRM Ramapuram.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Suresh.
We have a slight question on this, ma'am.
Yes.
It should be interdisciplinary students, or can
Yes,
the students belong to the
preferably.
same departments?
It's preferred that it is an interdepartmental thing. You build in as much diversity into the team of 4. Okay, they can be from different years. They can be different disciplines. It could be boys and girls, whatever. Bring in all the diversity into that thing so that the experience will be enriching for the students, wherein they will know how to operate when they get to a real world, because real world is full of diverse people.
So we
Yeah.
can give high preference to the interdisciplinary. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, we will be giving high preference to the guidelines document that will be shared with you will have these kind of inputs for you. And attending all the webinars will make a difference somewhere. Manoj
Okay,
Kumar
thank
is also
Manoj
from
Kumar, sir,
Ramapuram.
you can unmute, sir.
Yes, Manoj.
You can unmute and speak up, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, whether the concept and design is enough or we need to go for prototype in case some project if it is required.
Prototype is the next step. First step is concept and design. Get as many concept and design and ideas. Select 5 out of that.
Fine,
And
ma'am.
if possible, everybody can go for building their model, but these 5 teams will be presented to for the competition.
Sure.
They
ma'am.
can go with their other prototypes for other competitions as well. We don't say no to it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So this is for everybody who wants to participate in some competition or the other, and particularly for Innova, because we are going to define the direction and structure of the whole thing. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Shubham Nanda from in live chat or in YouTube says, can you share the WhatsApp group link? Shubham, I don't know which college you just, please ensure that you tell your college name in the live chat so that we will make sure that you get added.
The current WhatsApp group is only for the Innova coordinators and the faculty members. Once the 5 teams are identified, probably they'll get added by the IC coordinators into that group. Right now, it's only for the Innova coordinators of your college. Just find out who is your Innova coordinator. That will be the starting point for the students.
Participants in the live chat in YouTube, I think you can also post your question there. I will read it out and get it answered from Anu. Are there any more questions?
We have 2 more minutes, so participant can kindly post your questions or you can raise hand.
Ramesh, you can try sharing your first
Yeah.
screen.
Okay.
Any questions? Please write to us. Ma'am,
Sheila is asking a question.
what is it? Is this?
Is this going to be as a team or by individuals? If
Which
it
is going to be
by
a
teams,
team?
then how many members per team?
Yeah, that on purpose I didn't put that screen because I wanted some questions. The team size is 4 plus 1 faculty advisor, up to 4. It could be 3, 4, 2, whatever, and not 1. Okay. And it is a team presentation when it comes to the concept and design document. Right now, you are all, because we didn't have the time to put the teams together. Some of the colleges didn't have the time. So we are right now having only individuals participating in AWARE 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Will the coordinators help us in this webinar as well as in the project?
They will not help you. You're supposed to help yourself by attending these webinars. In case you have any questions, you can ask towards the end of this particular webinar. And the coordinators can help, can choose to help if they have the bandwidth. It's after all for their own college. And you can also reach out to your own faculty advisors.
Dr.
There is some
Savitri
other
from
question.
Sai Ram College says, is it mandatory to attend all the webinars?
1, 2, 3, S. It will help you. In case you're going to have some difficulty at some point, we will share with you alternate methods of doing that. Only if you attend these 3 webinars, you're eligible for a certificate, number 1. You're also expected to fill in feedback, be there right through, and then use this information that has been shared with you to fill in your concept and design document in a meaningful manner. And you're going to do it yourself. So we are breaking it into 3 different parts and then asking you, we are assuming that you're a clean canvas. You're absolutely, you don't know what it is, and then you're going to fill in one unit after the other. So I would like all of you to come with an empty cup and then take the information so that you will pick up every information that is given to you like a sponge. And this, believe me, will help you in all your competitions, not only in Innova, in any competitions you're going to participate. Like we're going to have a couple of hackathons shortly, and you may be attending several other competitions as well. So it will help you to structure your thoughts in a very clear manner. So we want you to attend seriously.
Shubham Nanda is from VIT. So Shubham Nanda, I think if you're a student, as Anu said, we will not be having you as of now in that WhatsApp group. Talk to your Innova coordinator from your college. You can probably talk to
Dr.
the
Jamuna.
EC members and
Dr.
find out.
Jamuna is there, in VIT.
Yes.
Okay, Doctor, we had another question from Aditya Krishnan on when is the last date for the deadline for submitting the ideas.
I didn't give you any such dates. So the concept and design document will come to us from the Innova coordinator. So get in touch with your Innova coordinator so that they can harvest all the ideas there at that point. Did I answer your
Jamuna
questions?
Yeah, just one or two more. We will stop with that. Jamuna
Right.
from VIT. She says idea could be presented. We can have critic review on that idea. Shall we be able to accept? I mean, if you're asking about whether we will get critical on your idea, will you be able to accept it? I think, it's all part of the game. But if we have understood the question wrongly, I think, Jamuna, you should unmute and raise your hand. We'll unmute and you can ask your question again. Rakshana from KITs, her question is, should the project fall under the specified category only?
You have anything outside that? Specify. We are only giving a direction. If you think something else is a bigger problem, then right.
Rakshana, I mean, she says agriculture. She has some idea on agriculture.
Okay, it can go into sustainability.
Jamuna
Alright.
ma'am is raising hand.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you can speak up, ma'am, for a minute.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Ma'am, it's simply the people are saying that it is idea is available with them, whether they can present that as a competition mode. That's what it is.
Idea is not getting pitched, but the solution also. That is a problem, the solution, everything will get pitched
Also,
during the pitch
They
your
don't
plan.
have the prototype model. They don't have the prototype model. Is it fine?
Till the pitch your plan point, only that much is available. But after the concept and design has been submitted, the prototype has to be developed. The final Innova presentation is all about the model that you present.
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am.
It could be a digital model, it could be a physical model, depending on the solution.
Okay, ma'am. Fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, Anu ma'am, can we move on to the next session, ma'am, or actual
Yes, sir.
presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Participants, we will take up the question at the end of the session. So, requesting Ramesh sir to step in.
All the best, Ramesh.
Okay, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Great.
No, is there no intro of Ramesh?
You introduce yourself, Ramesh.
Okay.
Well,
We are all
okay.
great people here, and
Okay.
Ramesh is an enthusiastic person, super
Yeah.
enthu person,
Yeah.
and he has taught this before. And
Yeah.
when we picked up this topic, he was more than enthusiastic to share the information with our people. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll do a great job with that. Ears open and your notes
Okay.
as well. Thank you, Ramesh.
Thank you
please
very
step in.
much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, well, let's start with the lean startup. So, what do we want to achieve today? I would say what we want to do is to, I will just give me a minute. There's a bit of a, sorry. Okay. Want to minimize this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What we want to achieve is to methodically construct and validate a business model in the fast approaching digital world. Let that sink in. And I want to particularly emphasize on the three golden words that have been marked out there. First, methodically. So the idea is that we are going to teach you entrepreneurship, because now there is a method to entrepreneurship. Let me give you an example. When I was about your age and about to enter the workspace, at that time, the career choices were whether you would be a salesperson, or whether you would be a production man, or whether you'll be a HR person, or whatever, right? One of the things about sales persons, people tended to believe that sales is a natural gift. Until when I entered the industry and went through a series of sales training, it dawned on me that salesmanship is like a science, like physics, chemistry, maths, whatever, because there was a method and all the theory that was gathered into a knowledge base, and which could then be taught. So the first point I want to make is entrepreneurship can be taught, and through these webinars, we believe that we'll teach you the theory behind becoming an entrepreneur. The second is model. I want to emphasize here that a business model is not a business. So when you think of becoming an entrepreneur, before you actually set up your business, you have to first validate your business model. And that is the essential first step. You should finally get into your business only when you have a validated business model. And what that means is that you have thought through, you've looked at all the possibilities, you've in particular considered the risks associated with the business, made sure that you can actually deliver, and most importantly, there are customers and many customers through which you can scale your business. So this is a very important concept for us to gather. When we say we want to start up, we don't say, okay, where will my office be? How many people should I hire on day one? All that is got to be done much later, when your model, and the model is not the real thing. It's like, the video that an apartment, a realtor will show you about what the flat will look like when you acquire it. It's not the flat, correct? So that's what we mean by validating a business model. And the third I want to emphasize is digital. The reason I believe is because I think the best opportunities now lie in what is now widely touted as digital transformation and so on and so forth. And there are so many areas in which, healthcare, education, and all the social projects can be vastly improved with digital concepts, digital ideas, digital startups, and so on. And I mean, this is a great time for people, technology-driven people, which all of you are, to get into digital concepts right now, because it requires very little investment. and has the possibility, especially today, of giving you the maximum return on the investment of your effort and your knowledge and so on. Correct? So that is the main concept that we are trying to achieve. Now, I mean, before I started my presentation, I heard, a lot of people have ideas and, etc., etc. And that is the place to start. This light bulb says that. So the first thing that you do with your idea is to describe it, put it on a piece of paper, okay, and describe it as a hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? A hypothesis is another sophisticated word for a guess. My guess is, okay, that say, for example, it's a good time to get into making drones, for example, right? And someone talked about being agri-tech and so on and so forth. And definitely, I mean, there is a huge potential for drones in the agricultural space, for agri-tech and precision agriculture and so on. And various other aspects. Drones can be used by courier companies. Drones can be used by Zomato to, deliver rapidly. And of course, drones is a very important product for the defense industry and so on and so forth. The point is, you have an idea. Now start putting it down on paper as a hypothesis, as a guesstimate, and keep refining that guesstimate through this particular process that you can see here. It's a step-by-step process. As we said, there's going to be a method to it, right? So the second step after you describe the hypothesis is identify the assumptions. Okay. What are assumptions? I mean, assumptions are, yes, this drone business is going to be great, assuming that there is, first of all, agriculture will accept drones in a big way. Okay, so I will make drones for agri-tech, or I will make drones for courier companies to deliver rapidly, and so on and so forth. So you identify assumptions about who your customers will be, what kind of technology inputs will be required, how much will the drone that you make will cost, how much is the customer to whom you are going to sell this drone, how much is he willing to pay, can I make the drone at the price at which the customer is willing to pay. A lot of questions, okay, a lot of questions which will get validated, okay, provided these assumptions that you have made about this great drone business that I want to get into, those assumptions are correct. So the idea is I put down all your assumptions, what you think is going to happen in the future, and then step by step plan, test. Oh, sorry, before that, identify beforehand all the possible risks. For example, important risks to identify are always customer risk. See, it's all right for you to think, "Arey wah, I'll make a drone, and I know there will be at least 10,000 farmers in Tamil Nadu who will buy it like this because my product is great." Assure you that this dream of yours will be tested many times, because most probably, and it happens all the time, the first thing you take your drone to a farmer and he'll say, no, look, for the last 1,000 years, we've been doing agriculture like this and we are doing quite well. I don't think I don't think your drone idea is a great idea. So this risk is a very important entrepreneur's risk. Okay. And a startup must identify these kind of customer risks well in advance and not live in a dream world. So how do you make sure that your dream can actually become a reality? For that, you have to plan certain experiments. You have to plan certain tests. Okay. And we'll talk about it a little bit as much as we can going forward. The tests are typically designed for what is known as customer development. So you go to a farmer, and by the way, here there are concepts like design thinking and so on and so forth, where you continuously interact with the farmer to say, okay, I mean, here is a drone likely to be, this is how a drone that I've conceived, and this is what that drone will do for you. Okay. It will, take a snapshot of the soil and, based on the soil conditions, we will tell you what kind of crop you should grow going forward. It'll, take snapshots of weeds that are there and advise you on what kind of pesticides you want to have and so on and so forth. So you actually do an interview with your customer and customers. By the way, one customer, two customers, as many customers as possible, the better. Okay. And with every customer's requirement, you get ideas for a prototype. Now, a prototype is not the real product, believe me. Okay. You don't jump into making your drone and, putting an advertisement and selling it on day one, right? It is just a prototype. It can be only on paper. It can be, but it should be as low cost and as simple. It's meant only as a model for dialoguing with the customer to understand what the customer's requirements are, to get confirmation from the customer, boss, this is the solution that I want. Okay. And I'm willing to pay you 10,000 rupees for something like this. Okay. So this then gives you the opportunity to test your assumption, that you made. Okay, this drone will be sold to a customer for, I thought 15,000 rupees, but the customer is willing to pay me only 10,000, right? So then you go back to the drawing board and say, okay, how do I make a drone which has these features? That is, it, tests the soil conditions and it takes photographs of weeds and gives me which pesticide to use and so on and so forth. How do I build this product? And it might take one or two more of these, circular iterations. Okay. Before you have what is known as a validated business model. Okay. So this method, this science of entrepreneurship is what we call the lean startup. Okay. I hope all this has been clear and understood. This is an important thing. So shall I proceed? I hope everyone can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Please go to the
Okay,
next
fine.
slide. Yeah.
Let me go.
Concept. Yeah.
Okay, so I said digital because digital is everywhere. Honestly, I mean, today, the biggest opportunity for us in India is digital. And in fact, I mean, the COVID has made digital all the more important. For example, there are statistics which show that in the 3 months in the first quarter of 2020, e-commerce in the US, but there are similar trends even here in India. For example, departmental stores were closed, shops were closed. I mean, a few shops were open, of course, except for groceries and all. But most of buying and selling was with Big Basket, with Amazon, and so on and so forth. So e-commerce has seen 10 years growth in a 3-month span. So this is massive acceleration. Second, it is now become imperative for all organizations and even individuals to digitally transform. For example, I mean, going to the bank today is quite painful. So what do people do, including elders? I mean, digital banking. I mean, sit at home and get your bank account operational. New digital startup opportunities have sprung up because a lot of work from home is happening. Education is becoming digital with virtual classes, and now, I mean, people are talking of virtual examinations, remote healthcare. In fact, healthcare is one of the most significant opportunities for creating social impact. I mean, because of the COVID and the rapidity at which, our healthcare system had to cope up, I mean, we've learned our lessons, but, you've seen apps like CoWIN, for example. In fact, CoWIN app is considered to be a path breaker worldwide. I mean, and it has transformed a lot of the healthcare and has the opportunity to transform healthcare even more going forward. And the government is also going to invest quite a bit. Okay. We talked of deep defense technology, I mean, drones and so on. And Jamuna or someone said, okay, I'm interested in agri-tech. Okay. So here, this is a great opportunity for all your ideas and, the shining bulb, okay, to be translated into a validated business model. And electronics and mobile businesses are growing at the cost of conventional businesses. For example, I mean, Netflix is rampaging our entertainment industry, which was so far, you had to go to the halls. I don't know when halls will ever open. Or Zoom is replaced, air travel to a large extent, because now meetings can be had as we are doing today. Okay. And this, I think, is a very important point for all of you to take home. Money will chase validated business models in this technology space. I want to emphasize this. If you think that, okay, I will make a smart presentation and pitch, so to say, of my great business idea that I have just thought of, okay, but to start the business, I want someone to invest in the business, otherwise how can I start? Okay. If that is the way you're thinking about your business, forget it. No one will give you money. There's a lot of money, but they will not put investment in a person who's just got a great idea. Okay. So the trick is that using this lean startup method and the various OR seminars that we are going to do, and of course, we can only show you the direction, but you'll have to walk the talk. And my suggestion is start the walk now, create your groups, and keep working on this. See, it's not a one-day thing, okay, that you made a great presentation and someone, with open arms gave you a few $1 million as investment because of your great idea. Okay. It's a lot of thinking, lot of team thinking, and it's particularly good if you guys are living in a hostel, or even if you're not living in a hostel, because you guys interact with each other on a regular basis. Okay, start with your idea and apply this lean startup concepts to your idea. Okay, and repeatedly improve it until it becomes so good that people will say, wow, this is a great idea, I'm willing to put money into it. And it doesn't cost you too much to validate your business model. Okay, but once your business model is validated, then money will chase you, and that is a fantastic position to be in. And we have stories, by the way. Okay, we have stories of such successes of students just out of engineering college, and just or 4 years later they regrouped and converged on their idea which they had started in there, and many of them in 5-6 years have become $1 billion unicorns. And so that's very much there, and that is a possibility, and believe in it. And why believe in it? And so that's the other question. Why start up at all? Okay. One, as I said, this is touted to be India's tech aid. Tech aid is, a mixture for technology decade. So the next 10 years is going to see massive opportunities and many startups in the technology space, the digital space. This report was, report was on 6th of January 2021. In the last 6 months, there seems to be a possibility that this 50 unicorns. What is a unicorn? A unicorn is a startup, okay, which is valued at more than $1 billion. So there are already, in January, there were 21 unicorns. And in 1 year, we will more than double the number of young companies, about 5 years or so old, valued at 1 billion or more. That is 7,500 crores plus. And Zomato and Flipkart and whatever. And that opportunity exists for y'all as well. Another important reason why you should consider a startup is because there is a connection between self-actualization and entrepreneurship. Now, I want to dwell on this a little more. And in fact, I think this can be also seen in the light of, how you can create social impact, right? Now, let me explain. We all enter this world and there is a particular design. I mean, if you believe in a God, there is a God who has sent us to this world with a purpose. And often the purpose is not only to make money and to become rich and, to gain power and become, politically strong and whatever. Real purpose is when you can do real good for others, and in the process, by doing good, you feel happy, and not just happy, blissful throughout your life. And of course, you have enough material and all other goods that you have. So it is important to discover what is that purpose that you have come into this world. What is that thing that drives you passionately? For example, Sachin Tendulkar would have made a lousy software engineer if he had listened to his boss and just take a job and do engineering and take a job and whatever, right? Or whatever. So I know for a fact that when you go through life, very often, if you are doing a job only to make sure that your family and your stomach is taken care of, there will be this constant niggling. The boss creates tension, this creates tension. So you will never achieve that level of happiness. Okay. Perpetual happiness, which is what self-actualization is, happens more easily to entrepreneurs because every action of theirs is fulfilling their dreams, their desires, and the purpose that they think they are born with. With every pitch to investors, to sale made, or an addition to their product and service offering, right? So every time there's a win, okay, you feel great about it. And you don't think that you've done it because your boss forced you to do it and so on, right? And that is a formula for happiness, continuous happiness throughout your life. Okay. And finally, of course, there is a little bit of debate about this, but there is a school of thought that digital AI, machine learning, and so on and so forth will replace many jobs, and these jobs will be done by robots and so on and so forth. Although, let me tell you that the current scenario seems to be that many guys who are technically sound, and especially in these digital skills, okay, for them, the job market today is booming. Okay. So beware of jobless growth, because this is lifelong. I mean, one has to, continuously contend, with obsolescence and so on and so forth. One of the best insurance against jobless growth or losing a job is to have a company of your own so that you can't fire yourself. Correct? So that is, I think, a good reason for starting up on your own. Okay. So now coming to the technical aspects. Okay. What is a startup? As I said, it's not the business. It's not, about having an office space on Nungambakam High Street and so on and so forth. So let me read this out. A startup is a temporary organization designed to search. So you're continuously searching. Acha, is this a good idea? Yeah, I mean, will customers buy this? For a repeatable, okay, I mean, 1 farmer, 2 farmers, 10 farmers, 1,000 farmers. million farmers when it's a scalable business model. Okay. So a startup is a temporary organization designed to search for repeatable and scalable business model. This is what is defined by Steve Blank in the Harvard Business Review. Okay. So what is a lean startup? Okay. The lean startup, the concept of lean actually originated in Toyota, the car manufacturing company. Okay. And lean simply means zero waste, no waste of time and money. So the method emphasizes that without wasting any money or your time, okay, you come up with a validated business idea which investors will run after you. Please think of this, right? Imagine investors running after you. Okay. And it has two major pillars. One is the concept of customer development. Like if you saw in the first slide, this customer development process is basically the process of validating whether your assumptions of the customer were correct. You thought so and so will buy, whether he bought it. You thought that he'll buy it for 10,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees, whether he's willing to pay 15,000 rupees for it. You thought that the customer wanted, a drone with soil condition mapping and weeds identification and so on and so forth. Whether he needs it or whether he says, no, you just give me a drone which finds the weeds and tells me which pesticide to this thing, correct? So that is the customer development process, understanding the customer and giving him a product that he wants, right? And this development is done in what is known as agile development. What is agile? I mean, agile is a fast, iterative means, doing it again and again in a circular fashion, and incremental in the sense, I mean, you have an idea, you test one feature of, of the product and check with the customer whether that feature makes sense to him and so on and so forth. And if he says yes, fine, include it as a feature in your product, and then another feature. So that's the incremental product development, where continuously the product, and here I'm using a concept called the minimum viable product versions, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, iteratively developed with the customer feedback continuously, okay, until the final product is ready and your business model is now saying, okay, come on, now we are ready to take on the world. Okay. And by the way, taking on the world is an important ambition to have, because that's what will make this the decade for Indian tech startups, right? And this is through rapid prototyping and rapid development. I mean, so there are quite a few technical concepts there, and I'm sure in your engineering course, many of you will learn many of these topics going forward. Okay. So I'll take a breath and I'll reconfirm that everyone can still hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So let's go on to what is lean a little more. I mean, a little more elaboration. So lean concepts like just in time, concepts like zero setup time and cycle time. I mean, these are all production technology concepts straight from Toyota's manufacturing standards. Zero risk. And this is one of the important additions to our lean startup model. That is, customer development is done in such a way that by the time we are ready with money and ready to put in money and so on and so forth, there is no risk that a customer will say, I don't want it now. Okay, that's the point. And a lot of this is based on the voice of the customer, as taught in design thinking. And the pull based inbound marketing is better, more efficient than push. That is, you go to, please buy me my product, please buy this product. Don't think that by forcing people to buy a product, or by being just at it, you will succeed. No, you have to be smart. Okay. And we talked of agile development, okay, which is rapid iterations and involves the concept of a minimum viable product. Okay, we'll dwell into this a little later. Okay. The final takeaway on this slide is make what you can sell. Don't go door to door trying to sell because you made something. Okay, so that's the takeaway. So now, one very important concept of a lean startup method, and that is the minimum viable product. Take a look at this picture. On the top is the process which is wrong, and on the bottom is a process which is right. Think about this. Why is the top wrong and the bottom right? It should be obvious to you that the top started with the idea of a car right from the beginning. Okay, and the entrepreneur made the mistake of thinking that this is I make the wheels, then so having the end product in the mind and then thinking that making parts of it step by step is the right iterative process, as we called it, is correct, is wrong. Okay, instead here at the bottom you see another approach, and here what you can see is that these are actually viable products, something that a customer can use, and because he uses it, he will give you feedback, whether it is good, bad, it satisfies his need, whether he wants something else, and so on and so forth. And that feedback will guide your product development in a step-by-step way. Okay, so a minimum viable product is the least featured thing, least featured, no waste. Remember, I mean, you don't give features that he doesn't want, that a customer will use because it satisfies an underlying need, because it satisfies a need. Okay, and while using it will give feedback, which in turn directs your agile product development process. Okay. So start the iterations as, okay, let's say this is, our idea, big idea. Okay. And my customer is a college student living on campus, and he wants some means which will take him from the hostel to the lecture theater. So maybe this will do the job. Or he says, no, I think this is better. Okay. Or he says, no, I mean, I think you give me a cycle, that's better. I'm willing to pay, maybe 15,000. Or I want something in, 2,000 rupees. Right? So all these are viable products for which the customer is willing to pay whatever price, because it satisfies a particular need. Okay. So that is the concept of a minimum viable product. And finally, and this is the crucial part of our discussion, and this is what becomes the core of your concept and design document. Okay. It is a lean canvas, and it should be possible, by the way, depending on how clear your ideation is, how nicely you've thought through, how many customer interactions you had, and so on and so forth, to fill this up. And in one page, you could possibly convince an investor to invest your millions of dollars. Okay. So this is simple, and sometimes there is strength in simplicity. Okay. But to fill this up in a way which will generate enthusiasm is where you have to spend your coming months as we go forward. Okay. So what are the various boxes here? First box is to define your customer segments. In the case of the drone, I mean, okay, one customer segment is courier companies. Another customer segment is farmers who want to apply agri-tech. The third customer segment is so on and so forth. Among these various customer segments, okay, who are going to be the early adopters? Okay, is it courier companies? Is it farmers? Is it whatever? So these are the early adopters. Now, along with this, each segment, you have to identify what are the 3 top problems that I'm going to solve for that customer, and how can I convert those problems to opportunities, and simultaneously also analyze what are the other alternatives. I mean, the customer might say, look, I am already doing, this pesticide, I'm spraying pesticide using those sprays and so on and so forth, whatever, right? So that is step number 1. Step number 2 is define what is known as a unique value proposition. Okay. What is a unique value proposition? It is a single compelling message that states why you are different and worth buying. Okay. And they say there is an elevator pitch. Okay. In one sentence, you should be able to tell this thing. Then your solution. Okay, drone 5 kg, so this thing, it can carry this weight, it has this camera, it has etc. etc. Okay. Then how you will reach the customers? Will you create a website, or will you have a sales team, or etc. etc. Okay. Then your revenue stream. Okay. How you'll earn money, and so on and so forth. And what are the costs? How much the website will cost? How much production making a drone cost, and so on and so forth. And then also set certain metrics as to how you'll measure whether your business is succeeding, right? So those are the key metrics. And finally develop a unique capability which no one can match you. And then you have clearly arrived, right? So this is the lean canvas. I will now go and take a few examples. The first example is that of a ride sharing company. I mean, imagine Ola or Uber and so on, right? So Ola and Uber defined the customer segments that they will address as urban millennials, business people who wanted transportation, local from home to office, business travelers. Say I travel from Pune to Chennai, and from the airport I need something transport. And foreign tourists. This is a very important thing. I mean, you imagine you go to a new country and you have to haggle with the people, and you don't know the currency, and so on and so forth, right? So out of these customer segments, I choose urban millennials who are also techno savvy. Okay. And the problem that I will solve for them is, in certain situations, it's difficult to find a taxi. We all know that. And that this is problem number one that I will solve. The price of a trip is not known in advance, because these guys, they haggle like hell, especially in Bangalore, I know. Okay. And paying a taxi driver often requires some cash, and you say, no ma'am, I don't have 100 rupees change, I don't have 200, 500 rupees change, ma'am. Okay. So all those problems are converted into an opportunity through this solution, where I set up a website which acts as an intermediary between drivers and customers. I charge a fixed fee which is known when the trip is booked. Okay. And payment is processed by credit card, or now, I mean, you Google Pay or whatever. Okay. That's another great innovation. And channels will be, okay, I'll place my app on Google Play, and I will give promo codes, and I will maybe do direct mailing, and so on. And 5, okay, commission on a trip, and trip sharing fees. So I charge a commission from the customer, and also from the driver. Okay. And okay, so the cost structure is developing and hosting costs of platform, acquisition and customer loyalty costs, selection and animation of network of drivers. Okay. So this example is an example which actually, by the way, is a very useful case study that was used by Uber. And you know where Uber is now, right? Today. It was a startup recently. Okay. Similarly is another example of Airbnb. Okay. Another multi-billion-dollar organization. Okay. Of course, the pandemic might have hurt their business quite a bit. Okay. But when they started, they used the lean canvas to define their business and have customers and have investors invest in their business. Okay. I'll just let this stay here for some time because I think I'm running out of time.
Yes.
Okay. So I won't dwell on it for very long. If there are any questions, please note them down. Okay. And I will try and answer this question. I'll try and answer this a little later. Okay. But I'm sure you get the idea. And a third example is a digital vault to maintain the health of or the child records of a child. Okay. So that again is here. And since I have touched my time limit, I think I'll stop here. Okay. So thank you very much. And I guess I can stop sharing.
Yes.
Okay.
Before we get to the next segment, can we have Barney for the Slido quiz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we get started now?
Yes.
Okay.
11:50.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. We are going to have a Slido quiz. I'm going to paste the link. So please follow this link and join. So one of us should join. Put this link in the YouTube.
The YouTube.
Also.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
Robin, it is, I mean, Bharani, it is not there.
Sorry?
The link is not seen.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's yet to paste
He's yet to paste it.
Yeah, I had to place it. Once again, I missed it. I'm going to put the link now. Okay. Please click this link, come to the browser, and it will ask you to register yourself. You please give your name as you are given in the Zoom. If you can match the same way, it will be very useful for us. And also give your email address. I will give you a couple of minutes so that everybody can register yourself, and then we will get started with the quiz.
Yeah, just one word of something that you have to note. Whatever registration email ID you've used, use the same email ID if possible in this attempting in the flash quiz also. Because we are going to compare your registration, your attendance, and the Slido quiz to see if you're eligible for a certificate.
I'll share my screen.
Visible, sir.
Okay. Let's give another 30 seconds for everybody.
Anil sir, before moving, there is some question in the chat box. Sir, for full name, you need to give our name or Zoom meeting name. You have to give your name. Akash, you have to give your name.
The name, try to match it with what you have given in the Zoom, so that we know, or how you have registered your name. Please try to give the same information so that we know who has participated.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to start the quiz. There are going to be 12 questions. Every questions we'll wait for everybody to answer. 30 seconds will be given for each question. Please answer all the questions. I'll start the quiz now. Okay, this is the first question. What is a hypothesis? These questions are going to be based on what you heard from Ramesh. So 41% has told it's a guess.
So if you do an Alt tab, you can come to the Zoom window, you can see the right answer and see how many people have voted for what.
Yeah. But please go back to the browser when we go to the next question. So this is the right answer. 41% have got the right answer. It's a guess. Okay, I'm going to the second question. Please go to the Slido tab. What does validation of a hypothesis mean? Okay, 58% have answered as true. Our guess is a fact. That's the right answer. We'll go to the next question. What problem of a vacant home owner does Airbnb solve? So it's one of the case study that was discussed. Okay, 68% have said monetize the vacant home. That's the right answer. Next question. Which metric will the homeowner watch with great interest? Yes, when your house is on rent, what you will be more interested to know? Okay, there's an equal number of answers. The right one is the number of views per booking per host. Basically, you will look for the footfall first, and then only you will talk about the revenue. Okay, the next question. Digital technologies allow organization to. There are a couple of options. Let's see who gets it right. %63 says all the above. That's the right answer. Okay, we are taking a quick check at this point in time. We have, wow, so many people have got 5 out of 5. Akash, Amrita, Hemanta, Mohan Kumar. So obviously you'll see that the ranking goes by the time fastest finger, but surprisingly 2 people are equally good there. Let's see how it goes further. We have a few more questions to come. I'll go to the next one. A startup is a dash organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model. This was explained in the presentation. I expected that. Okay. The right answer is temporary. See, this is where we want you to pay attention. A startup, many people get misled by the word startup. A startup definitely is not referring to the size of your business. It is referring to the current state of your business. So please understand, a startup is actually a temporary organization. It doesn't matter whether it is what is the size of that business. It can be as big as anything else. Okay, we'll go to the next one. How does a lean startup work? Somebody has by mistake pressed the wrong key. I'm declining it. Okay, we got, I think 57% has given the, okay, the right answer is test hypothesis, discover early adopting customer, release MVP. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Which of the below concepts apply to a lean startup? %66% have got it right. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Okay, remember the question is, what is not a lean canvas? Okay, let's see which one is the right answer. Both are a short version of the business plan, a 5-year forecast. Both are not a lean canvas. We'll go to the next question. In the context of lean manufacturing, which of the following are seen as waste? %57% has said all the above. That's the right answer. So, go to the, okay, quick time check at this point. Amrita still in the top. Arun Dev. Okay. Yeah. Venkateshwaran, Dipesh. Okay, good. We'll have
We forgot to mention that champions cannot take part, no?
No, it's also validating how much you got.
Yeah.
We won't announce them anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, we have 2 more questions. Lean manufacturing is seen as way to increase customer value. But customer value is which of the following? Yes, all are seen as the customer value. We'll go to the last question. How is an agile product development plan different from the traditional approach to planning? The moment you read the options, you should know what we are trying to achieve here. Okay, see, I notice all of you, the moment you see all of the above, you tend to go for that. See, don't be so enthusiastic by seeing all of the above. It's not going to be the right answer all the time. I think you have not even understood what is agile, the word agile means. Agile can never be a cast in stone. That's why I specifically gave that option. The moment you read the first option, you should have understood all the above is not there. Anyway, you should understand what agile product development means. Hope you got the answer now. Let's see who is now winning this. Okay, we'll go give it to Amrita. Definitely not to Arundev. And Sri Ganesh. They are the toppers. And the
From
fastest
which
finger is
college?
Amrita.
Which college are they from?
We don't know that. At least.
We do not know that, Tanu.
They are not named themselves. Sir.
They have not, at least not in the Slido, they have not named. We do not know how they have named in the
Okay. We'll find out that. Hopefully they're
Amrita is not renamed.
okay.
Sri Ganesh is also not renamed.
Okay. So interestingly, the toughest question in this has come out that what is not a lean canvas? Thank you. I'm done now.
Third person is from TCE, Shanmuga Darshini.
Come again?
Shanmuga Darshini is from TCE. Tyagaraja.
Tyagaraja. Okay.
Yes.
Congrats. Congrats.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Barney. Let's move to the next part, which is Arun's. Arun is all yours. Arun is a favorite champion for most of us. And he's one who puts in more than 100% to anything that he does. I welcome Arun to take the stage, take the floor.
Share the screen, sir. Arundev sir.
Yeah, thank you, Lavina. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, Ramesh, for that detailed session on Lean Canvas and Lean Startup. What you have done is tried to compress over 400 pages of Steve Blank's book, 4 Steps of Epiphany, into, I think, a 1-hour session. So that's indeed commendable. It does list out the broad outlines of the whole program and how to approach it. And that is by far the main purpose in which we wanted to do these webinars today. In my session, I'll just step back a little. A lot of you would be wondering, what is this whole thing about Lean Startup? Lean Startup is basically because you need innovation. And you need innovation because of certain things that are happening in the environment that demands you to be alert and be able to tune yourself to what the market demands. Why do you need innovation? If you look at it from a business point of view, the future is very unpredictable. Customers have many alternatives. You yourself experience that. The number of cell phones you can choose from, select from, and that type of thing. And the pace of change is very rapid. Put yourself in an organization in such a situation. The only way you can be sure of a sustainable path of growth in such a situation is to innovate. Unless you innovate, keep ahead of your competition, keep in touch with what your customer wants, being ahead of everybody else, you will lose out. You will lose growth. You will stagnate. You will fall back. This applies to organizations. It applies to individuals. It applies to everyone. So this is why we need to innovate and continuously look at innovation as something that we will build into our life pattern going forward. You know, in my discussions with students, I also emphasize about online learning, because that's the only way you're going to keep abreast of what's happening in the world and how to be abreast of what's happening there. So that is why innovation is required. In a conventional company, when you talk about innovation, when you say you're hit a rut, you're not having sales growth, immediately people will start forming a team. The team will start talking about developing a product and then building that product, specifying the product. 6 months later, after all the money has been invested in it, take it out to the market. and finally realize that customers don't want this feature, they don't want that feature, and there's a whole lot of wastage that happens. In today's environment, where cash is king, where finance is difficult to get, good finance goes after very good ideas. If you don't have a very good idea and you're in a stagnant company, nobody is going to invest in your company. And in that company, if you do the traditional method of knowing a new product, you're going to be losing out and you will spend a lot of money without good results. And that is where the whole concept of this lean startup came. Today's presentation by Ramesh was a particular emphasis on digital, because as he put very eloquently there, digital is what's driving a whole set of what do you say, industries today. Industries today. I mean, I go back to some of the initial questions came. I have an idea in agriculture. Definitely in agriculture, there's a whole set of digital happenings that are going on. There are these drones with sensors which will sense the moisture in the soil, give you an indication when you have to do it. It'll give you a sensor about what are the nutrients you have to add at what time. So there's a whole lot of digital applications that find which are amenable for a lean startup situation. So that is the emphasis that he laid out. And this is by far the same canvas that he has used. So those of you who will now go back, and I hope you do that, go back and learn a little more about lean startup and where it all started and what is the basics of this and how to get a little more deeper into it. You will see a slightly different canvas, which is the one which we'll show you the next. Lavana, can you just move the next one? Lavana, can you shift the thing?
Arundev sir, I have just having this page. Have you mailed anything to me, sir?
Yeah, I mailed one to you. I'm sorry.
So, I'm not yet checked my mail. This is the one I'm having. 1 minute, I will get back.
Arun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, the point you're trying to make is that when you go into Googling lean business canvas and so on and so forth, you will see a different canvas, correct?
No, there are two things here, Ramesh. What you are trying to do is focus on digital, focus on startup.
Okay.
And what the lean canvas talks about is existing businesses, if they want to start a new product, they look at it slightly differently.
That's true. I agree. I agree with you.
That is the pitch I want to go back, Lavana.
Yeah.
Go back. So for all of you who are on this program today, we had, go to the previous slide. We had Ramesh's slide. Lavana, the previous slide.
1 minute, sir, 1 minute. We see that, sir?
This is the slide which you would use for a startup and also with a particular focus on digital. You will be looking at early adopters, you will be looking at identifying customer segments, looking at problems. We'll come to that in a bit. But those of you who do some Google search will come across the next slide. Lavana?
Having small issue in moving immediately, sir. Have you seen now, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is slightly different, but still captures the main elements there, which is about customer segments, about value propositions, about cost structure and revenue streams and channels. The only difference is key partners, key activities, and key resources change into problems and the other aspects as in the earlier slide. So I don't want you to get too confused. I just want you to stick with the slide that Ramesh has used, and this is something that we will share with you as well. Go to the next one.
I just want to step in. I mean, see,
please.
When you type lean business canvas, okay, you'll get the second slide that you showed. But when you type only lean canvas, you're more likely to get the first slide. that I
The whole idea of having this session is to make it clear what we are going to adopt during our Innova competition. That's the
Right.
reason why we are having this
Right.
intervention. Yeah.
And also to quickly capture what Ramesh has said and go through, because there was so much of emphasis on the lean startup methodology and the way to go about it. I just wanted to give you how a traditional business normally approaches development of a new product or development of a new business. You normally have a business plan. You say you will sell so much of this product will be made at this price, etc. And the whole focus there and strategy there is how do you execute the sales, how do you execute the production, and how do you manufacture it. New products are normally specified fully. Again, there was one of the questions that came up in our Slido. Is the product fully specified or the product just a temporary product that has to be modified, that minimum viable product? In a traditional business, you normally have a fully specified product, and the development of the product goes through what we call a waterfall approach, where you have different gates or different milestones which tick off the next stage of development, etc. The organization still continues to be split around standard departments like production, supply chain, marketing, finance and accounts, etc. Financial reporting still remains the profit and loss statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flows. And the speed is generally dictated by achieving milestones and also based on complete data. Failure in this traditional business is not generally accepted. There is always the thing that this could not have gone wrong. And once that failure happens, then there's a whole sort of things that happen. Normally executives get fired, and the whole other set of repercussions happen, which are not normally the cause for that failure. Compare this with what we expect in a lean startup. The next slide. The business model, as Ramesh said in the first slide, is hypothesis driven. A hypothesis is a guess. That is what we said it is. And I just checked up the Oxford Dictionary explanation for it, an explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation and validation. So that is a hypothesis. And the whole thing about lean manufacturing or lean canvas, sorry, not lean manufacturing, but lean canvas is, it is hypothesis driven. You make a hypothesis. This, like, go back to that drone example he talked about. Farmer in the Kaveri basin would be interested in a drone that will sense what is the soil moisture level during the period of summer. So this will be your hypothesis statement, and you will go out and test whether the farmer is really interested in what you said in your hypothesis. He might say, no, I'm not interested in monitoring this in June, July, because that's a monsoon season. I want to know what it is during March, April, or even in January when we harvest. So you might have to then have sensors that will be able to sense that atmospheric or the moisture level at that point of time, and therefore your product will change. You have to take all these inputs. So this is a hypothesis-driven approach for the lean startup. It is, you work along with your customer in developing the product, and that is where we have the agile development. The product is built iteratively and incrementally. You have a minimum viable product, and then you build up from that, including other features as you go along. Always being very particular that you're creating value at every step. You do not want to increase too many sensors in that drone just because you're getting it. You should be able to realize some value from it, either by the farmer paying more or the farmer enjoying some more benefits than what he actually paid for. Financial reporting, again, the key matrices, as Ramesh said, are totally different here. It is about how much is the cost of customer acquisition, what are the lifetime value for the customer, what is the churn, how many customers are you losing out because alternatives have come out, etc. And then we have speed. Speed is rapid here. The faster you get through, the faster you're able to get your product into the market. And failure is something that is accepted. This again, failure is good because failure gives you an opportunity to learn what went wrong and correct. If you don't have any failures, you do not have enough learning. So be aware of that. To fail is to be good and to good opportunity to learn. So this is what I just wanted to talk about briefly, and then I'll come back to what we want to see in the C&D document that you will submit as a team. I think the deadline for that is the 12th of October. The three main components. Navana, can you go back 2 slides to Ramesh's slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One.
Yeah. So we want you to identify the problem which you want to attack. This year, purposely, the scope of the theme for the Innova competition is being made very broad to address multiple segments, because we want to see, we want to give ample opportunity to all branches of engineering to participate in this whole process and learn. Finally, the 5 teams that come up is something that the institute would do, but we would like to create an opportunity that every student working in all our institutes will have an opportunity to look at the lean canvas as a method, as something to learn going forward and be useful in their career going forward. So what is that problem? How did you identify that problem? What are the steps? What are the processes you use to identify the problem? Is something that is very critical and is something that we would encourage you to keep notes of and then use it when you finally fill up the problem statement in your C&D document. Another critical thing here is to also explain what is the situation, how is the situation being served today? When we talk about competitive offerings, how is that problem of the farmers' moisture sensing being solved today? What are the alternatives? And what are the costs? And what are the channels through which that is being solved? These are all some of the things that we would like you to think through when you think through your problem, and make notes, make copious notes about, which will finally sort of accumulate into nice, precise statements under the problem statement and customer segment in your C&D document. The second major thing that I'd like to explain today is about the value proposition, unique value proposition. By far the sole reason why a customer will come back to you for the solution. Value propositions have to be very unique, and it has to have 2 sides to it. It could be some value which removes a pain, or it could be a value that provides a gain to the customer who uses your product. It is useful to identify both these opportunities in terms of alleviating the pain of the customer as well as creating opportunities for gain for the customer. And again here, it requires a lot of interaction with the customer. You are not going to be able to identify the pain and the gain unless you understood your customer in graphic detail, granular detail. In the sense, what are the tasks he does? How does he do it? When does he do it? What are the problems he faces? What are the obstacles that come in the way? What are the risks he takes? Now, these are all such aspects that need to be considered when you draw up your value proposition. A value proposition by far decides how far you want to go forward and how you want to go about it. So make these pains and gains that you identify from your customer also tangible. A customer might say, I will save time if I have this feature. Find out how much time he wants to save. He wants to save 10 minutes, he wants to save 30 minutes. The feature that you add for 30 minutes will be a lot cheaper than the feature that you add for 10 minutes. And if he says 30 minutes is okay, nobody is going to pay you the additional cost that you incurred for that 10-minute feature. So make copious notes about your discussions with customer. Jot down their words. Don't put your words there. Jot down their words so that it gives you a good idea of what they expect. Now, I'm focusing here on those notes because a lot of the process here in this Innova this year is about pitch your plan, which is one milestone where a lot of the projects will be evaluated critically by people from industry and the startup economy as well. So you need to be able to communicate how you got to that solution that you're going to present in your C&D document. I will stop here today. I'm focusing primarily on identifying the problem, scoping out the customer, and developing the value proposition. The remaining other charts or other tables on that map, such as key matrices, channels, etc., we will detail out in our subsequent webinars. For the present, I would like you to spend as much time as you can in developing the problem, the customer segments, and the value proposition. All these will change. All these are expected to change as you build up more and more knowledge about your customer and start developing your minimum viable product. So that is it. I will stop with it there, and then we will take it forward from the next webinar. Purposely, I'm not making any slides on this. I want you to make notes of this and then sort of refer some more ideas from the internet and build up so that there is a wide range of approaches that is taken. Thank you. Back to you, Anu.
Thanks, Arun. Towards the end, we will be sharing the PPTs that we showed you and a couple of documents that will make sense. And apart from that, we want you to refer as much as possible. We have given the links in our slides as well from where we picked up the information. Now open to all for any questions you may have at this point. The floor is open for questions.
Gopika has raised her hand.
Yeah, please unmute.
Lowered her hand again.
I think people are hungry towards noon. So.
Lot of chat messages saying thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Almost welcome, because we are trying to help your Innova coordinators to have a great competition on the people who are going to compete within their colleges as well. We also hope to harvest a lot of ideas from our young minds, and we have so many things in store, but we're not promising anything at this point of time. We want you to do your best and come up with the best solutions and address the most needy problems in the society. I am sure the IC Innova coordinators will do a good job, and also the faculty advisors you may reach out to for each of your projects. You can start forming your teams in the background and start working on problems and solutions as well. Thank you so much for the time. Yes, we will share the PPT and any other valuable resources you may want to refer to.
Can I post the feedback, Anuma?
Yeah, please. You're supposed to fill in the feedback form as well. make sure all the people who attended this session from your college also fill the feedback. This is for the
One
Innova
question.
coordinators, so that it will complete the circle of attending a particular webinar.
There's a question in the chat box, Anuma. Where can we find problem statement?
In your mind, look at the newspapers, talk to people, find out what is the problem. And when you form a team, you can choose a specific area or a category. Take only health or education. Find out what are the problems that are available there. Just read newspapers, open the newspaper, you will get so many problems listed there. All you have to do is filter it out. Be aware.
Anu, I think we should also inform them about those 3 webinar links which they can refer to.
The past links.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will
Well,
also be
come on.
sharing the past webinar, the webinars that we had last year on how to think of a problem, how to choose the right problem and things like that, which we did last year, which was highly interactive and appreciated. We will share the recorded versions of those with the links to your IC coordinators and also to you probably.
Once again, there is a question. So we can choose any problem statement, right, from below.
Yes, choose 3 problems
In
and
the
pick
team.
up one out of it, so that you would have done the exercise in a proper manner. Take a particular area, identify several problems, choose the best problem, and then come out.
Within the theme.
Yeah, within the theme, of course. There should be technology, there should be social impact, which is nothing but personal productivity improvement and environmental, without affecting the environmental conditions, and also improving the economics. So if you do a little bit of reading of the links that are provided there, you will be richer with some knowledge as to how you should address the problem or
One more
identify a problem.
question. Sorry, Anuma.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
more question in the YouTube. One student has asked, can I develop C&D for any problem in society, even it is simple problem?
For the society, using technology is the key.
Within the theme.
Within the theme is nothing but technology enabled social impact. What is social impact is explained in the first 3 slides, next 3 slides, and use any technology for that. And use the methodology proposed, the lean methodology proposed. Like even if you start with a solution, that will be a viable solution. It will somehow alleviate the pain.
Any more questions? Student at faculty, please feel free to post or raise hand.
The Innova Task Force, which is taking active part in these aware webinars, will also be there for you to for answering your questions.
No more questions, Anuma.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What a timing, no? 12 noon.
12 o'clock, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of you for being there. I hope you'll continue and participate in the second and third sections of this particular webinar as well. Get more details on what are the other boxes, and then fill up your concept and design document, submit it to your Innova coordinators, and we will get the best of your best 5 ideas from each of the colleges as well, and you will participate in the picture plan. All of you will get to participate. Really, the 5 teams that come in, or even the others, will get to participate in the picture plan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anuma, and thank you all the
Thank you,
champions.
Lavna. Thank you, Sujata,
Thank you so
Robin,
much, ma'am.
and all the IC coordinators who had been part of this particular session. I specifically can see Dr. Badrinathan had been there in the system, SVCE, and Dr. Jamuna,
Arivumani Ravanan. sir from
Arivumani
KIT.
Ravanan, my favorite, from KIT. Quite a few of them are there because they haven't.
Yeah, rename properly.
Naming is there, but I have to strain myself to look at it. Next time we will have them.
Professor
prefix
Manoj
their-
from SRM is there, ma'am.
Manoj is there, yeah, of course, from Ramapuram.
Dr. Savitri
Dr.
from Saira.
Suresh, Savitri. And if you can have the prefix IC as well, then I will have a count on how many ICs actually participated. We have a very vibrant WhatsApp group. I want all the ICs to be active there. Bring in questions if they have anything more.
Arivalagan sir is also there from KPR.
Who?
Josanan from KCG. is
Arivalagan,
also there.
Arivalagan from KCG.
Josanan from
sir.
KCG is also there.
Yeah. I will open my box and then I can read out. I'm sure all of them are there.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your time, and we will see you next week. Same time.
So
Stop the streaming,
kindly-
Lavna.
yes,
Stop
yes.
the streaming.
Yes, will do, ma'am.
Joseph.
So kindly provide your valuable feedback. Thank you all for the participation. Hope all of you had gained some good takeaways from the session. Hope to see all of you in the upcoming webinars 2 and 3 on August 21st and 28th. Thank you all.
Thank you.